Alright, the first thing that I like to do, and I'd recommend you guys do once you've logged into your WordPress dashboard, is to change our password first, because WordPress will generate a long funky password that's really hard to remember because it's completely random. So the first thing you want to do is navigate to the left bar and hover over users, click on users. Once users shows up, the default is admin, which is you. Click on admin. Now scroll down and click on create password, and as you can see, if you show it, this is the funky long random password I was talking about earlier. So change it to whatever you want and then click on update profile and it's done. So the next thing we're going to do now is delete plugins. And what plugins are is they add functionality to your website, and that's one of the things that makes WordPress really great. So say you want to have like a PayPal button and link up your PayPal account so someone can buy something on your website, say for an e-commerce website. Well, by default WordPress doesn't come with such features, so there's a plugin for that you can install and add to your WordPress site so that you can have that ability to create a PayPal plugin. And there's plugins for everything. There's plugins for forms, plugins for page builders, plugins for social media. There's pretty much a plugin for everything now, and there's new plugins being added to WordPress all the time. But what hosting companies do is they install all these extra plugins on your website because, well, they get paid to do it. And understandably, they're in the business of providing a service, and that's how they make money, which is okay. But that being said, we don't want these plugins on our website. So navigate to the left menu and click on plugins, and as you can see here are some of the default plugins that have been installed by Bluehost, or that came with your Bluehost package. And what we're going to do is click on the top option here, then click on the drop down menu here and click on deactivate, and now click on apply, and that's deactivated all the plugins, so they're inactive now. But we still want to get rid of these plugins, so click on the top button again, click on the drop menu again, this time click on delete and apply, and there you go. Now that we've got rid of these plugins from our website, we can start again all clean and fresh, and we'll start adding in new plugins. Okay, the next thing we need to do now is see if WordPress needs any updates. We want to make sure our website is fully up to date first before we actually start building anything, as sometimes updates can cause some unexpected changes to our website, especially if there's an update and a plugin hasn't been updated to suit that new update on WordPress, that it might cause temporary glitches. But usually developers update their plugins and you're good to go most of the time. But it's better to make sure the website is fully up to date first before actually creating anything to avoid headaches down the road. So what you want to do is hover over our website name and click on dashboard, and at the top of the left bar just click on updates, and as you can see here we don't have any updates, but if there were any updates it will tell you, and all you have to do is click on the update button and WordPress will automatically make the updates and you'll be good to go. Right, the next thing we're going to do is delete some pages and posts that WordPress installs automatically. Ultimately, we just want to start off clean and fresh right from the beginning. So navigate to your left on the bar and click pages, and we'll see the sample page. Click on that or click on view, and yep, just looks like a regular Ocean WP web page on WordPress. So go back and we can click on trash. Alright, so once we've done that, that will go into the trash can. If we click on the trash can and we click delete permanently, that will get rid of it, and that gets rid of it entirely, and that's how we delete pages on WordPress. Next, we're going to delete our posts. So if you go to the menu on the left and hover over Hello World and click on trash, and again we can click on trash and delete permanently. The differences between pages and posts is that pages are like website pages, so home page, about page, contact page, store, services page, and posts are for a blog. So if you wanted to write a blog, you click on posts and you'd write it and create it there. So you'd click on blog and you'd create your blogs and post them there. Alright, so we're now done deleting our pages and posts, and that was pretty easy, nothing too complicated. Okay, the next thing we're going to learn now is how to change your website's title and tagline. So to do that, we need to hover over welcome and click on visit our website. So we can see our title right here, which is welcome, and our tagline here, which is just another WordPress site by default. But our website's going to be a lot better than just another WordPress website. So if you click up here on customize and then navigate down and click on site identity, and here you can see site title. I'm going to change that real quick. And here's our tagline here, so we can change that right here. I'm going to change mine right now. And here you can see the site title and tagline. I'm just going to go ahead and change mine right now. So I recommend putting your business name here in the site title and then what your business does in the tagline, so it can give users more information about what your website is. Alright, once you're done with that, you can click on publish and exit out of there, and we can see our title up here and our tagline down here. But not to worry, our website isn't going to look like that. We're going to remove this later on and make our website look 1,000 times better than the default, because we're going to make our website look a lot better later on. But for now, that's how you add your title and tagline. But our website is blank, so what we're going to do now is add pages to our website. To do that, hover over your title name and click on Dashboard, navigate down the left menu and click on Pages. Then navigate to the top right and click Add New, and we can start by adding in our page title. I'm going to call this page Home because we need a home page, and I'm going to leave it blank for now, so navigate further to the right and click on Publish. Okay, so once we've done that, we're going to add a new page, and I'm going to name this page About and click on Publish. And now I'm going to add a new page again. I'm going to name this page Services and click on Publish. And finally, we'll add one more page, Add New. I'm going to name this one Contact and click on Publish. Now, if you go back to the left menu and click on Pages, now we can see all our pages here that we just created. Of course, you can add as many pages as you like or what your website requires. I mean, you can add features pages, frequently asked questions pages, you can add an e-commerce store page, so if people want to buy from your website you can do that. But for simplicity's sake, we're going to stick to these 4 pages because pretty much every website uses these pages, and because this is a tutorial, I want to try and keep it as short and sweet as possible. But remember, the options of adding pages is limitless, and we have now learned how to add pages. Okay, moving on. So the next thing we're going to do is edit our menu. To do that, hover over your name at the top and click on Visit Site, and we're going to start adding links to this part over here. And for simplicity's sake and aesthetic, we're going to remove this top part here as well. So to begin, click on Customize at the top and then click on Top Bar, then click on General and uncheck Enable Top Bar. And as you can see to the right, the top bar is now gone. And as you can see on the right, that removed that space up here. That's the top bar section gone. Now we're just left with the menu space. Okay, so now we can go back and now it's time to add all our menu items. So click on Menu and click on Create New Menu. Then we'll start by naming our new menu. I'm just going to call it Main because it's our main menu, but you can name your menus whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to go with Main. And after that, check it off as the main menu. Now click on Next and now click on Add Item. So first I'll click on Home as our first item, and I'm just going to check that it's our website name. Double check that. It should be the website name or domain name that you bought. And once you've confirmed that, click on Add Items again and add the others. So About, Contact, Services, and now we can go back. And if you look at the top right, you'll see that the menu has now appeared with the link. And if you look to the top right, you will now see our Home, About, Services, Contacts has now been added to our menu. Alright, now we can go back to Edit More Settings. Now navigate down to Header and click on General. And here we've got some control on how we like to stylize our main menu. So for example, we could choose Screen, and if you look to the right, it will give us the universal hamburger. And if someone clicks on it, it will give us a full screen menu. Or we could click on Medium and that will center our menu. Or we could use Transparent, and this is the one we're going to use in the tutorial because Transparent is very popular. And if you choose Transparent, it's going to make the menu transparent. So whatever you build will go underneath it. The menu will basically be layered on top, which creates a really nice effect. Alright, and by default there's a border at the bottom of our menu, but since we're going for the transparent effect, we don't really want a line. So just go ahead and untick that. And over here we can choose to make our menu really big or small. By default, I usually stick around between 72 and 80. But for this tutorial, I'm going to leave it at 80. You guys can make it as big as you want or as small as you want. Now, starting out, I'm going to make the background color black. And normally, if you don't use a transparent menu, this would normally be the background color. So if you want a white menu, black menu, blue menu, green menu, this is the place to do it. And I'm just going to make this black a little bit lighter because it's a bit more modern. Now, if we move down to transparent and header settings, again, click on it. I'm going to make this all black. So just click and drag down to the bottom and it's black. And we'll take this one step further. We're going to mess with the transparency settings. So if we drag the slider all the way to the left, then it will be completely transparent and you'll be able to see everything that's underneath again. And if we slide it back to the right, then it wouldn't be transparent at all, but we don't want that. We want to have a bit of a transparency effect. So I'm going to slide it to about 25. So it's still transparent, but we can see a bit of the menu and it will create a nice effect later on in the tutorial. Okay, and everything looks pretty good. This is the way we want it for now, and we can always come back and change it later. So let's head back, and now let's change what the menu colors look like, because black on black isn't going to be very legible for users. We want to make this stand out and easy to read for our viewers, so contrast is key here. So where it says home, about, services and contact, these are the colors we want to change. So if you click on menu and scroll down a bit, and for link color, we're going to make this completely white, and this will stand out really nice, especially when we put content underneath our menu later on. So make that white. With the hover color, so I'm going to make this green for my website. You can make it any color you want. So what it basically is as soon as someone moves their mouse over your menu, that color is going to change to indicate that they're currently hovering over that link. You can choose whatever you want. I'm going to go for green for now. And with the link color menu item, I'm going to make this white. Basically what this is that when someone's clicked on a menu item and they're on your page, that will be the color. It means it's activated, but I don't want it to be a different color. I just want to keep this design nice and clean. So I'm going to go with white, but again, you guys can choose whatever you need or want for your website. It's really up to you. There's no right or wrong here. And next we have a search box by default, but to be honest, our website isn't big enough yet that's worthy of having a search. So I'm just going to scroll down here and tick that off and disable the search, but you can always come back later and re-enable the search box later in the future if you need it, but it's really up to you. Again, no right or wrong here, guys. Okay, everything's looking pretty good. I've pretty much covered everything I want to do for this menu, and if we change our mind, we can always go back later. So if we go back and scroll down to typography, and the typography section is basically all the fonts and text on your website, and here we've got full control and we can change and alter and tweak, switch up, and here we've got full control where we can change the size, style, font, legibility, you name it, we can change it. So you can change any of the fonts you want here, but for now I just want to show you how to change the font for the logo. So click on the logo, and as you can see here, we can change the font size. We can make the logo bigger or smaller. There's about 600 font families to choose from, so you can change the font for your logo, and you can get a better look at these fonts if you go to google.com/fonts, where you can check fonts in greater detail there if you're still looking for a particular font that you want to use for your logo. And so for someone like me, I'm really into my modern sans serif font, so I'm just going to go with this font right here, and I can always come back and change it later. You might have a particular font or style for your logo. It's really up to you. I'm just going to go for this one for the tutorial purposes. Okay, so that looks good. Now let's go back. Now let's click on menu, and we're going to do a basic text transform. We're going to make this all uppercase, so scroll down and click on uppercase, and as you can see, all our text in the logo on the main menu is now uppercase. And with these settings here, you can drag the slider back and forth to make the text bigger, and you can increase the space, which is the space between the characters per word. So again, it's really up to your personal preference of what you're trying to achieve. I'm just going to set it to like that because that's pretty standard and it looks great, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. So now I'm going to go back and back again. And now we're just going to change the color of our text logo here. So we're going to click on header and click on logo. And I'm going to show you how to upload your own logo later in the tutorial, but for now, if you want to keep your logo as a text, I'm going to show you how to change the color now. So if you go down here and again just click on select color, and we're going to make this white, and that's good. So now the logo is white, but if we hover over the logo, it's by default it's going to turn blue. So we're just going to change this color, and I'm just going to change it to the same green that I used for the menu for now anyway, but we can always come back and change this anytime we want. So the next thing we're going to do is set our homepage to be an actual homepage, because by default WordPress is viewing this as a blog, and we don't want that. So if we come back here into the main menu and click on homepage settings, and as you can see here, there's two options. We're just going to click on static page, so that WordPress is now reading this as an actual web page, not a blog post page. So click on that, and where the drop down menu is, just click on the first one and choose home. You can make a static page any page you want, like the about page or service page, etc. But when we want people to come on our website, we most likely want them to land on our home page first before they do anything else. So go ahead and click home, and this is the first page people are going to see when they come onto your website. Alright, and that's everything. So we can go ahead to the top and click on publish and let WordPress update all those settings, and once that's done we can exit out of here. So just click on the X here, and now as we can see right here, this page is now set to the home page, and it's pretty simple and it was easy enough. It looks pretty cool, and as we just do a little test here, you can see that the navigation is working. As I click on these, it's displaying the correct titles for each page. So if I click on services and contact, as you can see, it's all working. And that's how we set up our navigation. The next thing I want to do is show you how to add content to your WordPress site the old-fashioned way, aka the not-so-fun way, but it is still essential that you know. So hover to the top over your website name and click on Dashboard, then scroll down the left menu and click on Pages, and find your home page, click on Home Page, and then we can add any content we want right here. And we can pretty much start typing right now and add images, add links, and format the text, you know, a bit like Microsoft Word. And this is how we used to create websites back in the day. but I'm going to show you anyway. So after you're finished, click on update and now click on view page at the top, and that'll take us to our home page. And as you can see here, here's the content that we just added just now, and there you go. That's the old-fashioned way of making a WordPress site. Not the most inspiring or charismatic way to build a website, but it is still pretty interesting. Okay, let's look at the new and 2018 way of creating a new website. And to do that, we need to get a plugin. And again, a plugin is something we use to extend the features on our WordPress site. And remember that thousands of people are creating new plugins and features that can be added onto WordPress. And that's really the beauty or differentiating factor of WordPress, is that people can just jump in and create new plugins that can add more features or capabilities to WordPress. So what we're going to do now is get and install a page building plugin. So let's hover over our website and click on Dashboard. Now navigate down the menu and click on Plugins, Add New Plugins, and we're going to search for a plugin called Elementor, Elementor. Type that in and it should come up as the first result. And as you can see here, it's nearly got 2,000 ratings with over 1 million active installations. It's compatible with our latest version of WordPress. It was updated a week ago. It's pretty active, and Elementor is still getting new updates as time goes by, so this will only continue to get better and better as time goes on. And you can click on more details here and learn more about it. Click on screenshots just to get a quick overview, but we're going to exit out of that. Alright, so now we've got Elementor installed on our WordPress website. Let's go back to Pages and click on Home, and you'll see this blue button here, Edit with Elementor. So you want to click on that, and when we click on that, it will activate the Elementor page builder, and just give it a moment to load. And here we are. This is Elementor.